Namaskar and a very warm welcome to Express News with me Deepika. In the next half an hour, we will bring you latest updates from the country and the world. Let's begin. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated and laid the foundation stone of various development projects in Varanasi. Prime Minister inaugurated various public projects and works including a 100-bed MCH wing in BHU, multi-level parking at Kodialia, RoRo vessels for tourism development on River Ganga and 3-lane flyover bridge on the Varanasi-Ghazipur highway. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister recalled the difficult last few months when the mutated coronavirus attacked with full force. The Prime Minister lauded the efforts of Uttar Pradesh in dealing with the challenge. Prime Minister Modi praised the efforts of the government of Uttar Pradesh in dealing with the pandemic. He praised his team from KASHI, the administration and the entire team of COVID warriors for the way they mobilized day and night to create arrangements in KASHI. Prime Minister Modi enumerated the rapidly improving medical infrastructure in Uttar Pradesh. Number of medical colleges in the last 4 years has grown fourfold. Many medical colleges are in various states of completion. Prime Minister Modi said that the recently announced 23,000 crore rupees package will help Uttar Pradesh. He said that Kashi city is becoming a big medical hub of Purvanchal. He added that the treatment for some diseases for which one had to go to Delhi and Mumbai is now available in Kashi. Some projects that were inaugurated today will further augment the medical infrastructure of the city. Prime Minister Modi said that many projects are propelling the ancient city of Kashi on the path of development while keeping its essence alive. He said projects like highways, flyovers, railways, overbridges, underground wiring, solving the problems of sewer and drinking water, promoting tourism have seen unprecedented push from the government. The Prime Minister said today there is rule of law in UP. The mafia raj and terrorism which were once going out of control are now under the grip of law. The way parents always lived in fear and apprehensions regarding the safety of sisters and daughters, that situation has also changed. Prime Minister concluded by reminding the people of Uttar Pradesh about their responsibility of not allowing corona to gain strength. Once again, he cautioned that despite slowing down, any carelessness can invite a massive wave. He called upon everyone to strictly follow the protocol and get vaccinated under Vaccine for All, Free for All campaign. Prime Minister also said that works on development of agricultural infrastructure is continuously going on to promote agricultural growth in Uttar Pradesh. He also said that mango and vegetable integrated pack house will help to develop this region as an agro-export hub. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited a 100-bed maternal and child health wing at BHU. Varanasi is being developed as a major medical hub for PURVANCHAL region. During his visit to Varanasi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the International Cooperation and Convention Center, RUPEE, which has been constructed with Japanese assistance. On the occasion, Prime Minister also planted a sapling of Rudraksh on the premises of the International Cooperation and Convention Center, Rudraksh. Prime Minister also said that during last 7 years, government has also taken many steps to promote regional handicrafts of Varanasi. Prime Minister and Rudraksh will also help to boost trade in the region. Prime Minister addressed World Youth Skill Day program. He said that skill development of the new generation is a national seed and is the foundation of Atmanirbhar Bharat, as this generation will take our republic from 75 years to 100 years. Prime Minister called for giving momentum to Skill India mission by capitalizing on the gains of last 6 years. The Prime Minister underlined the importance of skill in the Indian culture and stressed the link between the importance given to skill development and upskilling and progress of the society. Prime Minister Modi dwelled on the traditions of celebrating skills like Vijayadashmi, Akshay Tritiya and Vishwakarma Pujan, where skills and the vocational implements are worshipped. Prime Minister said that India providing smart and skilled manpower to solutions to the world should be at the core of our strategy of skilling our youth. He appreciated the step of global skill gap mapping and exhorted the stakeholders to continuously skill, reskill and upskill. The Army has granted permanent commission to 147 additional women officers. All women officers granted permanent commission would undergo special training courses and challenging military assignments to empower them for higher leadership role in the Indian Army. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat reviewed situation post-twin drone attacks on Indian Air Force base at Satwari, Jammu in the wee hours of 27th June. The Vaishno Devi Shrine Board has made it mandatory for all pilgrims to carry a negative COVID-19 report. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed a landmark of 39 crores cumulatively. 39,40,491 vaccine doses have been administered till 7 a.m. on Thursday. 3,143,850 people have already recovered from COVID-19 and 39,130 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours. This constitutes an overall recovery rate of 97.28%, which is showing a sustained increasing trend. India has reported 41,806 daily new cases in the last 24 hours. Less than 50,000 daily new cases have been reported since 18 continuous days. India's active caseload today stands at 4,32,041 and active cases now constitute 1.39% of the country's total positive cases. Weekly positivity rate is currently at 2.21%, while the daily positivity rate stands at 2.15% today. Daily positivity rate has remained less than 3% for 24 consecutive days and has remained below 5% for 38 consecutive days now. Testing capacity substantially ramped up, 43.80 crore tests total conducted. BSE SENSEX ended above 53,100 for the first time ever at 53,159 levels. While the NIFTY 50 index broke out the 15,900 levels and managed to end at 15,924. Yellow metal prices on Thursday were trading absolutely flat, as on the multi-commodity exchange gold August futures were at 48,307 rupees per 10 gram as against the previous close of 48,299 rupees. At the same time, silver September's futures were slightly on the higher side as they stood at 69,575 rupees per kilogram, up by 163 rupees against the previous close of 69,412 rupees per kilogram. The rupee pared some of its initial gains to settle 5 paise higher at 74.54 against the US dollar on Thursday amid a firm trend in domestic equities. Crude oil prices fell more than 1% on Thursday. Brent crude futures for September dropped 91 cents or 1.2% to $73.85 a barrel by 0158 GMT, while US West Texas Intermediate crude for August was at $72.21 a barrel, down 92 cents or 1.3%. The United Nations warned Britain and other countries drawing up legislation to regulate online content must avoid overly broad definitions and over-reliance on algorithms that might curb free speech. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged to strengthen measures against online racist abuse of soccer players, banning fans from games if they are found guilty of such offences and fining social media for failing to remove it. In US stocks, the S&P 500 ended with a gain after briefly hitting an intraday record in a choppy session on Wednesday as investors balanced worries about inflation with reassuring comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Of the 11 S&P 500 sector indexes, utilities and consumer staples were among the strongest, while energy sank over 3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.13% to end at 34,993.23 points, while the S&P 500 gained 0.12% to 4,374.38. The Nasdaq Composite dropped 0.22% to 14,644.95. World continues to battle COVID-19. So far, over 18 crore 93 lakh people have tested positive across the globe, while the number of recoveries stand above 17 crore 23 lakh. Deadly virus COVID-19 has claimed more than 40,76,000 lives worldwide. The US continues to remain worst affected from COVID-19, with number of cases crossing 3 crore 48 lakh. The number of deaths in the country from the virus stands above 6,23,000. Australian authorities report a declining trend in new COVID-19 cases in one of the largest cities, Sydney. The country has over 31,500 cases of infection so far. In the Australian state of Victoria, a 5-day lockdown has been announced following a spike in COVID-19 infections, joining Sydney as the country's two main population hubs battle an outbreak of the highly contagious Delta variant. British Health Minister Sajid Javid has urged people to show caution when nearly all the remaining COVID-19 restrictions are lifted in England next week. He said that the pandemic is by no means over. Britain has over 52,33,000 cases of COVID-19, while the country has seen deaths past 1,28,000 to COVID-19. Spain has presented new restrictions aimed at controlling the rapid spread of COVID-19 cases. The Spanish northeastern region of Catalonia would also impose a night curfew in 158 cities and towns from today onwards. In Athens, more than 5,000 protesters gathered outside Parliament opposing the government's mandatory vaccination for workers in certain sectors. In Haiti, supporters of slain President Jovenel Moïse gathered at a makeshift memorial outside the National Palace in Port-au-Prince to pay tributes to Moïse. At the United Nations, countries pay tribute to Haiti's slain president and express solidarity and support for the Haitian people. UN ambassadors stood to mark a moment's silence for Moïse during the General Assembly tribute. Cuban authorities restored internet access on Wednesday following 3 days of interruptions after unprecedented protests erupted over the weekend. The United States has reiterated its call for the release of all peaceful protesters detained in Cuba during recent unrest. Calling for immediate release of detained protesters, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the protests in the communist-run island will have an impact on Washington's approach. Demonstrators around the world are showing solidarity with Cuban people in Spain. Dozens took to the street in Madrid on Wednesday in support of Cuba anti-government protest. According to data released on Wednesday, showed a record number of Americans died of drug overdoses last year as pandemic lockdowns made getting treatment difficult and dealers laced more drugs with a powerful synthetic opioid. An immense, swiftly spreading wildfire raged through drought-sparged timber and brush in south-central Oregon for a 9th day on Wednesday, threatening nearly 2,000 homes and displacing hundreds of residents. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro is being transferred to Sao Paulo to undergo tests for an obstructed intestine. According to President's office, Bolsonaro may need emergency surgery after suffering persistent hiccups for 10 days. The European Union policymakers on Wednesday unveiled their most ambitious plan yet to tackle climate change, aiming to turn green goals into concrete action this decade and set an example for the world's other big economies to follow. In Italy, an artist, Olivier Grosset, has created an installation titled The Farnese Bridge that has brought Michelangelo's dream to life, an illuminated 18-meter-long cardboard bridge suspended by 3 large white helium balloons floating above the Tiber River, delighting passers-by. Fireworks lit up Paris skyline on Wednesday evening as France celebrated its National Day. France's celebration of national unity falls on the anniversary of the 1789 storming of the Bastille fortress in Paris, the turning point in the French Revolution. The head chefs of about 20 world leaders arrived in Paris for a week-long visit that gives them a tour of France's gastronomic culture. Among notable names are Britain's Mark Flanagan, France's Fabrice Deswines, and White House executive Chef Cristeta Comerford. The participants say that gathering is a way of promoting more pleasant ambience in international politics. In Greece, the homeless cat is walking again with 3 new high-tech prosthetic legs after a tragic accident left him with just 1 limb. The 1.5-year-old feline arrived at the veterinary clinic of Sofia Zoe in the town of Larissa last year with serious wounds to his legs and unable to walk. Zoe believes he lost his legs after being hit by a car or getting caught in a running car engine, but Perseus, whose name belongs to one of the greatest heroes of ancient Greek mythology, bounced back. Zoe worked with Bio3 a Greek team of engineers and veterinarians who designed his implants made from titanium and plastic paws made through 3D printing technology. In New York, 24 goats from Green Goats Farm in Roaring Park journeyed to Riverside Park in Manhattan to munch on invasive weeds on Wednesday as part of woodland restoration initiative 2 years ago. An NGO unleashed a very hungry group of goats into a stretch of the park that had been overrun with invasive plants. The goats then threw down to Japanese notchweed, gnawed on porcelain berry, snapped on multiflora rose, and then gulped down poison ivy without even giving it a second thought. Woodland Restoration CEO said that since goats are naturally effective weeds workers, putting them to work in Gotham is like treating them to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Hundreds of people are flocking to a farm in Bangladesh to see a 51-centimeter tall cow that its keepers say is the world's shortest. The 23-month-old putti or Bhutanese cow named Rani, weighing 26 kilograms and so small that it can be carried around. The team monitoring the herd of wandering wild Asian elephants in southwest China's Yunnan province has captured more fascinating footage of the herd, including a tender and touching moment where one of the baby elephant cubs greets another with a gentle pat of its trunk. The Macau government is hosting an environment expo, and this year the event has adopted the theme towards a green and low carbon new era. Online exhibition and business matching as well as conference live streaming will be among the highlights of the year. An organization in Macau is collecting packaged food with a shelf life of over 3 months and then distributing it for free for the underprivileged section of the society. Along with street food, the group has set up regular collection points at its headquarters and various community centers. The new residence of Japan's Emperor Naruhito and his family at the Imperial Palace has finally been shown to media. The royal couple is expected to move in as early as September. Emperor Emeritus Akihito and Empress Emerita Michiko had lived there until March last year before moving to a temporary residence. The renovated 2-story reinforced concrete building with a basement has a total floor space of about 5,290 square meters. The building includes a hall to welcome guests from Japanese red, pine and other trees are planted in the building's inner courtyard. At the International Balkan Mathematical Competition held in the Republic of Moldova, several school children participated from across the world. Bolivian parents struggle to adapt to technology as their schools shift online. A Bolivian couple only had a landline phone, but things changed when the pandemic struck and their children had to take online classes. The family had to buy mobile phones and moved from a rural area into the city. Powerlifters Jaideep Kumar and Sakina Khatun qualified for the upcoming Tokyo Paralympics after the sport's world governing body handed bipartite quotas to the country. World Para Powerlifting conferred a bipartite quota each to Jaideep Kumar in men's 65 kg and Sakina Khatun in women's 50 kg. The bipartite slots came as a relief to India after the country's para-powerlifting team couldn't participate at last month's FASA Dubai 2021 World Cup owing to travel restrictions to the United Arab Emirates. According to reports, Lionel Messi has agreed to stay at Barcelona on a deal until 2026 that includes reducing his wages to half of his previous salary. The announcement is dependent on player departures that will allow Barca to fund the Argentina captain wages. Messi, aged 34, was a free agent after his contract that reportedly paid him £123 million a season expired on 30th of June. He is on a holiday after winning the Copa America and the final details of the contract are yet to be finalized. Re-signing Messi was the principal summer target of new chairman Joan Laporta. Paris Saint-Germain have completed the signing of Italy keeper Gianluigi Donnarumma on a free transfer. The 22-year-old joins PSG after being named of the player tournament as Italy won Euro 2020. Donnarumma saved 2 penalties as the Azzurri beat England in a shootout. Donnarumma, who has signed a 5-year deal with that PSG, announced earlier this week he was leaving AC Milan after his contract expired. Claude Car controlled his rivals and extended his overall lead in the Tour de France as the final podium took shape in a grueling Mountain 17th stage won by the defending champion on Wednesday. The Slovenian outsprinted Denmark's Jonas Vingegaard and Ecuador's Richard Carapaz at the top of the lung-busting Col du Porto for his first mountain stage win in this year's tour after being the first attacker in the final climb. Former world champion Viswanathan Anand defeated Russian Grandmaster Vladimir Kramnik in the first game of their four-game match for the Sparkassen Trophy in Dortmund. Playing with white pieces, Anand needed 66 moves to beat Kramnik late on Wednesday in a match played as part of no-castling chess devised by the Russian Grandmaster. After Rishabh Pant, a support staff member of the Indian team in England, has also tested positive for COVID-19. 3 other coaching assistants have been quarantined because of this development. The 4, along with Rishabh Pant, would not be travelling with the team to Durham. Pant has tested positive for COVID-19 virus in England and is staying in home isolation at the moment. Pant is home quarantined at his relative's place at present and is likely to join the tour party in Durham later. The former Indian opener Wasim Jaffer has been appointed as chief coach for Odisha cricket team for 2 seasons. Jaffer played 31 tests for India and scored 1,944 runs with the highest score of 212. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach said on Thursday there was zero risk of game participants infecting Japanese residents with COVID-19 as cases hit a 6-month high in the host city. Bach added that Olympics athletes and delegations have undergone more than 8,000 coronavirus tests resulting in 3 positive cases. High-profile Cuban musicians from salsa band Los Vava and jazz pianist Chucho Valdez to pop star Leonie Torres have offered rare public support to protesters and criticized the communist government. Britney Spears fans and supporters gathered outside a Los Angeles court as the tearful Spears won the right to choose her own lawyer to help her end the 13-year-long conservatorship that controls her personal and business affairs. Singer and actress Olivia Rodrigo encouraged young people to get vaccinated against COVID-19 in a video recorded at the White House. Rodrigo was at the White House for a meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden and infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci. Hollywood star Sharon Stone stole the show as she returned to the Cannes red carpet on Wednesday. A Cannes regular, Stone wore a flowing flower-adorned light blue tall dress. Hungarian director Ildikó Enyedi premiered her romance drama The Story of My Wife at the Cannes Film Festival on Wednesday, but without leading lady Lisa Dior walking the red carpet. So Dior tested positive for COVID-19 in Paris. Iranian director Asghar Farhadi returns to the Cannes Film Festival with Morality Tale, a Hero. Farhadi's The Client premiered in Cannes in 2016 and went on to win the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. A somewhat true story of French-Canadian singer Celine Dion's life is told in French filmmaker Valérie Lemercier's new movie, A Line, which received its world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. The Crown and The Mandalorian led nominations for the Emmy Awards in a field packed with newcomers and feel-good TV shows that reflected the surge in streaming during the coronavirus pandemic. HBO and its new HBO Max streaming platforms lead all networks with 130 nominations, followed by Netflix Inc. with 129. LAKH Episode 6 on Wednesday took Indian fans by surprise as it featured the song Swag Saha Nahi Jaye from Sonakshi Sinha's starrer Happy Phir Bhag Gayi. The makers of LAKH confirmed the inclusion of their song with a mention in the end credits. Alpha Omega Christian Mason, a Christian group, has taken objection to the title of a book written by actress Kareena Kapoor. In the complaint, the group has referred to the title of the book Pregnancy Bible, authored by Kareena Kapoor, and accused them of hurting religious sentiments of the community. And that's all in this bulletin. More coming up on the other side. Keep watching DD India. Namaskar.